Hi guys, and welcome to a new video. So these are new LED headlight bulbs that I've just purchased. So go ahead and show you the box. So they're branded Nighteye. There's 2-year warranty. They're 10,000 lumens supposedly. They're 6,500 Kelvin temperature. They're LED headlight. Save money, more power for your car. And that's the design I chose. So let's go ahead and show you the inside of the box. So this is an unboxing review. So I spend my own money on these LED headlight bulbs, so I will tell you the truth, as I don't have to please a manufacturer with a good review. If they're rubbish, I will tell you, and you can make an informed buying decision. I paid $34.19 for these LED bulbs in October 2017. So let's go ahead and show you a close-up. So what that is, that's a glass tube that fits over your LED headlights. That's the LED headlight there. And that will have a cap on then to hold that. That's a grub screw, which you mustn't lose. All the grub screws. That's the Allen key for the grub screws, which you mustn't lose the grub screws, because I don't know where you're going to find any spares. So that's the cable coming out of your LED bulb. It then goes into that joint, into the driver, and then out. And that's the power supply for a H4 block on your car. So let's go ahead and move these out of the way. Let's move that Allen key to that box. So this is the design. So I've stripped it down. I haven't got the glass tube on that, and I've took the end cap off as well. Which this is the end cap. So there you go. So this is the design. It's quite a nice design. That's a heatsink only. There's no fan in there, so it can't run as fast. It can't run as strong. 60 watts this set is, and those are the LED chips there. These are Philips Lumileds, supposedly. I can't tell because they don't say anything, but they are very small. There's a bath, a light bath that they go into, which apes the real halogen bulb. If I just show you the real halogen bulb, there's a little bath there for the light to reflect out. And it's doing the same thing on these. So it looks promising. I couldn't tell you if they're accurate or not. But that design compared to the old set I had, which had, they're a lot bigger. Let's just get them in line. So the LEDs are a lot bigger on this set here, and they've also got plastic beads on the surface. I don't know if you can see them, which throws the light all over the place. So these are Cree chips, and these are supposed to be Philips Lumileds chips on this black one. So they're supposed to be a better design of chip, but they're only being run at 60 watts. So there is 5 chips on each side. So let's show you what these grub screws are now. So I don't know if you can see this hole here. Come on, I'm just waiting for it to go into focus. So what you do is you put your grub screw in there and just double check that they're tight. So there's one on that side, and then there's one 180 degrees to it on the other side, same place with a hole in the side. So what I've done is I've set that top big bracket there in line with the Nighteye, because one of them was, but this one was down here somewhere. So what you do is you undo the grub screws and just move it back. You can actually adjust it all the way around. It will adjust 360 degrees. And then just tighten them off and make sure they're nice and tight. There is another grub screw which is actually holding the heatsink on. I don't know if you can see that on the back of this red heatsink. So there's a threaded hole there, and I've actually took the grub screw out for ease of use, but that's where you do it up and undo it, and that jams inside on the end of the threads. So the way you fit this bulb is different to the other one. This doesn't come off, so that has to go inside the spring clip that's in the back of your headlight. So the way you do it is you put it in. First you have to take this off, and as you can see I'm uncovering white stuff, which is actually heatsink compound, to get the heat transferred into the heatsink to cool the bulbs down, because they do run quite hot. So that's how you fit it in, and then you put your clip on that holds it in the headlight, and then you screw your heatsink back on, and then you put your grub screw back in the back of the heatsink and tighten it off to stop it wobbling and coming loose. So that thermal compound will get everywhere, so just be aware of that. And the more you take it off, the more it will wipe it off and move it around. So then you put your grub screw back on in the back, and that will then stop it from undoing like that. So let's just put that down there for now. So the next interesting thing was that they've sent different diameter tubes for some reason. I don't know why, but I've got different diameter glass tubes there which go over the headlights, the headlight bulbs. And then they also sent two different end caps. They're the same threads, but I think, but they're different sizes. I don't know what they're thinking, but it seems to me that they just don't care. You know, they are different sizes. I hope they've built them properly. Just see if it will focus. As you can see, they're different size end caps. So let's go ahead and show you the instructions now. So first, this is the first bit of the instruction. LED headlight installation manual, Nighteye, LED headlights. So let's go ahead and show you this. Just bear with me, see if it'll focus. There we go, that's the information, product specification. If you want to pause it and read it, you can do. I think that's a warranty card. If they actually back up their warranty claims, I'll be very surprised. So that's more information there, and then fitting instructions there. I've already told you how to do it though, but if you want to pause it and read it, you can do. So that's another bit of instructions there. Product specification. And this is an interesting thing. So you can actually adjust the color temperature of the light that comes out of these bulbs. So as standard, with no tube on and no coloured film, they are 6500 Kelvin, but you can adjust them to 3200. I don't know why you would want to adjust them back to the yellow light, because it's the white light you're after, but you can actually adjust them to blue light, ice white, and that is 8000 Kelvin. So that's showing you how to do that. So what I'll do is just bear with me while I just move this to a white background. So I'll show you the colour films now that are provided. So that's the 8000 Kelvin film. So you stick them on the glass tubes I've shown you, and this is the 3200 Kelvin, which I don't know why anyone would want to change it back to yellow when yellow's not a very good light to start with, but it's your option. You can do that if you want to do that. I'll stay with the normal 6500 Kelvin. So for better heat dissipation, I'll run without the end caps, which I showed you earlier, and I'll run without the as they may fall off into the headlights, as well as the glass tube and the rubber O-ring. There is actually a rubber O-ring that was mounted there, so that cap goes on there. If you want to use the glass tubes, you can do, and there's heat dissipation holes there. So let me just put the one that's designed for this one on. So yeah, that's the tube now on the headlight. Obviously there's a rubber O-ring that I've taken out just to stop losing it, and that then is designed so it dissipates the heat through those holes, so it doesn't get super hot and cook the LEDs off the circuit board. But I've decided I'm not going to run with the glass tube. So I'll store my old bulbs. Let's just put this in shot. So I'll store my old bulbs in the box that these came in, ready for changing them for the MOT. Remember, don't touch the halogen bulbs with your bare hands, as they will pop when you put them back in the headlight. So this is what this one looks like compared to the normal halogen bulb. Let me just get that lined up, the central one. So that's the normal halogen bulb that goes in your car. Quite a bit bigger. So that's what it is trying to pretend to be, but there's an issue with the fact that this heatsink is on the back, that it might not fit in your car. Let's show you the other design. This is the other one I bought, which I had real problems because this gap here is tiny on this one, and I had real problems with this one fitting, so I decided to go for this other one here. Let's move that to the, there we go, to the same top. There we go, so that's different again. So as you can see, this gap here is absolutely tiny. Just get them in there so you can see them without my fingers in the way. So the gap's a lot bigger on this black set than this silver set here on the right. So those are the ones I used last, and I've actually done a 7-month review of this set here. If you want to check my other videos, I've just done a 7-month review of this set, and I'll give you my unbiased opinion on what I think of this set. So the bigger gap, I have a feeling, is going to help me. This is basically the rubber boot that goes on the back of my headlight. It goes in that way. Let me just move them out of the way. So as you can see, it's quite a deep hole, that. So what's got to happen is that has got to fit in that gap there, which is still quite tight, but it's going to have to fit in that gap anyway. In between there. So that bit there is going to have to fit in between there, and hopefully it'll still fit better than the other set anyway. Right, so I'll just mention that again about that heatsink grub screw. Make sure whatever you do, you undo that grub screw in the back before you try and undo this heatsink. Otherwise you'll damage the threads and it might not tighten up again. So there is a heatsink compound on the back of on those threads to help dissipate the heat, as I've shown you. Make sure the mounting plate is level with the central branding when you install them. That top peg, that top digger, there's 3 of them, one there, one there, one there, and it fits in the same position as a normal halogen bulb. And then make sure that that is just in line with your Nighteye branding on the top. Make sure the 2 side grub screws are tight before you install it, because if they loosen off, you'll find your light will start to turn, and that's no good at all. So the specifications of these headlight bulbs are, just bear with me, what I'll do is I'll show you now the specs. So this is who I bought from. There they are, the Nighteye H4 LED headlight fog light bulbs. High-low beam, 60 watt. The cost was $34.19. So I did originally want this set, but they were so expensive I decided not to go for this set. So the seller is Neverland GBP, 60,700 feedback. And I think that is the manufacturer that is actually selling them in the UK. They are in the UK. So 7 months ago, when I had that other set, this set was £48, so that's quite a big price drop to 34, so 14 quid less they were. I will be doing a review soon, whether I think they're any good or not. I've already done a review of those silver ones that I just showed you, so they were £21, and they're not quite as good as they could have been, so I did a review on them. So this is the information that was supplied on the listing. So they're Nighteye H4 at $34.19. The bulb socket is H4 9003. The light source is Lumileds LUXEON ZES LED chips. The color temperature options with the films are 3000K, 6500K and 8000K. The wattage is 60 watt for the set, which is 30 watt each bulb. The 4000 lumen equals low beam and the 5000 lumen equals high beam. The illumination is 1500 lux. The working voltage is 12 volts to 24. The waterproof rate is IP68. Working temperature -40 to 80 degrees. Material overall Aviation aluminium. The beam angle is 360 degrees. The CE certificate is CE RoHs. The super long service life of 100,000 hours, and it's a heatsink only for cooling, and that's why it's being run at 60 watts and not 80 watts like the other set. So that's it, guys. So thanks for watching, and check back soon. Cheers.